Hello, it's Connie here, and we're back streaming after a while. And today we're gonna do a quick meditations video on essentially stressing out and getting back on track. Bit on addiction as well, bit on all sorts of stuff. Just kind of an update, and then we're gonna continue Life Seeing Life, which is a blog that we started probably more than a week ago now, but there's been a few things happening and we never got it done, but now we're going to get it done. I mean, we're not going to get it done today, but we're going to continue to get it done. And that's pretty much the process of our day. So enjoy. If you've got any questions, just feel free to share. Day 89. What's this? I don't know what that is. Yeah, we've been off for a little bit. We've got uni coming up, which we found out we need to go in 2 days a week now to university. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of assignments coming up, and they're going to be hard because it's our last year of university. So if there's ever periods of time where I'll try and let you guys know, but ever periods of time where we're not on for a little bit, it's probably because we're doing an assignment or getting something done that needs to be done. And as much as I'd prefer to prioritize ponder, which we kind of still are, because looking at the calendar, we've got a lot more ponder than we do university. As much as we'd like to prioritize, we still got to prioritize uni a little bit and do uni here and there. But we are trying to prioritize work in the sense that we're trying to look after our mental state through being a little more sober, because yes, we have been indulging a little bit, especially with the cyclone and everything. It's like you just have friends over, have beers and just do whatever, because we're all trapped inside anyway. But yeah, it's getting to a point where we've been throwing our sleeping pattern out of whack a bit, and a bit more fatigued and not thinking as clearly, as clear-mindedly. So, and just getting distracted, habituating yourself towards the wrong things. So yeah, that's what we're working on now. And yeah. But it does feel good to be back on stream. Hello, it's Connie here for day 89 of meditation. And today was a very necessary meditation. Reason being, necessary meditation. Hell yeah. It was a necessary one. Because we realized I think making the meditation videos, reason being, sometimes we can, I'm sure a lot of people sometimes we can go into meditation more as a chore than a meditation. We feel like we need to fulfill something out of the meditation, when that's not meditating at all. That's going into a place to think about what to do next. What I mean by that is, like, I would go for meditation and I feel like I need to come up with something by the end of the meditation to talk about, but lately all we've needed is just to do some mindful meditation so that we can think clearly and see clearly again, not overwhelm ourselves. Because when you're going into a mindful meditation, stressful period, when you already got enough on your plate, you go into a meditation where you're meant to be calming yourself, but you're thinking of more to do, then it's not very calming, not very purposeful. Is necessary meditation. Reason being, and a lot of people can relate. That's gonna give me autism. Fuck off. Corrupted files, hello. Like over, or you make a lot of plan and we'll live anything like mindful meditation and just let and people get amplify with down, amplify with thoughts, amplify in action and non-action, and then amplify. We're just gonna make it, and if it corrupts, I do not know what to do with this computer. But essentially, if you've joined streams before, or if you've joined it, or if you're just seeing this for today, then essentially every time we see one of those glitches, the whole file ends up corrupting, and it really just destroys everything, including the videos we've just recorded. So it's happened multiple times. Once it happened on a 1 hour recording, and yeah, it's starting to happen too often, like way too often. But we'll see if it works today, and we'll just keep going. Stressful periods. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate, is stressful periods, and how stressful periods amplify with thoughts, amplify in action and non-action, and then amplify through recovery periods as well. So essentially we probably experienced our first like down day. By down, yeah, I mean we kind of explain it. Our first down day since the perspective shift to life seeing life down day yesterday. And by saying that, we don't mean like down, we mean just like an inner feeling of, come on, you need to get onto things. And we just sat with it, because we know you can amplify in mind, or you can just sit with it and flow with it. And that's kind of what we did. Just turn all these up. But it's still good to recognize and understand, because essentially leading to this, it was stressful period of already having a lot on your plate, and then figuring out there's a lot more on your plate. There's a lot we didn't touch on, a lot we missed talking about relaxing your forehead when you meditate. See these little ripples in the forehead. Usually means you think. In regards to uni, for you it can be in regards to anything, but just being overwhelmed with stress and a need to do things to the point where we become kind of stagnant, and we do bits and pieces, but we're too busy stressing in our mind that we kind of look for a distraction. And yeah, we found distraction in substance, and yeah and yeah, substance, how good. Substance being just short-term pleasure, short-term fulfillment that allows you to forget or overlook, the things that are in our daily stresses. And you can see this in addiction and everything. A lot of addiction is just coming to overcoming the burdens of daily life, or not even the burdens, but seeking a greater pleasure in daily life due to something we're habituated towards, something we need to fulfill our day. And people get stuck in these addictions because when they're off them, they're going to naturally feel down because they don't have that constant dopamine hits, and yeah, their mind's just going to try and navigate towards them, and it's going to be fixated on getting it again to fulfill their day. So that's addiction in mind. But essentially, yeah, coming into substance, you get that you de-stress, you're with friends, you're fine. But then one day turns to 2 days turns to 4 or 5, and then before you know it, you haven't made any progress towards what you're meant to be working on, or you made little bits, and you're stressing out more every time you're not on substance, because there's more to do and that you've been off topic for a while, and you guilt trip and all sorts of stuff. So then yeah, and I guess you just keep stressing out. And we went out for meditation a couple times, but because we were so overloaded with things to do, important things to do, you need to navigate, other things to navigate. You sit down from meditation, and you start stressing about, what are we going to talk about during the video? And it's that's not what meditation's for. It's for presence and just figuring things out for yourself and then sharing. But it was getting to a point where everything was becoming stagnant just because of a stressful state of mind, to the point you just allow yourself to be stagnatized, and you indulge in substance to give you that sense of relief. And coming into this week, on Sunday, it's now week. On Sunday, it's now Tuesday. On Sunday, we're okay, get off the substances, let's get back on track. We have a lot to do, a lot to focus on. And we did a lot of planning, of course. That tends to be what you do during the stressful stages. You just keep planning, but you never take action. But yeah, we did a lot of planning. But yeah, yesterday it was first day off substance. Our own mind back, which was nice. But there's also it is nice to want your own mind. Once you've been on substances for a few days, then you kind of start craving your own mind back, the sharpness. But you're not going to get that straight away, and I think that's another thing that sucks for the person, is they want to get back on track, and a lot of people want to get back on track, but it's not an instant switch. You're going to need at least a few days, probably even longer, depending on how long you've been indulging in the substance for, and you're just going to have to sit with that, and that's going to be, you're not going to feel the greatest, you're going to be tired, you're going to be slumped, your mind's going to be wanting this fix, but yeah, you got to sit with it and work through it. But that's what gets a lot of people back into the substance, is they don't want to go through that, I guess, depressive period in a sense. Or if when they're in the depressive period, they're like, okay, I just need some, like, it's the only thing that's going to make me feel better. So technically you could try and lessen the dose throughout time, but if you're heavily addicted, that's probably not going to work either, because you're going to just still be doing it, and then you're naturally going to start inclining towards more on certain days, and then it will get out of hand on one day, and then you'll be back to where you started. So yeah, a few things to work through. It's up to the individual and what they think can work for them, but addiction's a tough one, because substance feels good when we're indulging in them, and when we're off them, it feels, a bit more trapped, because we're not used to, our mind's looking for it, and now we have to navigate the normal world again, which can actually be very blissful if we find that state of mind and if we find that peace in it. But for a lot of people, it's the substance that gives them their peace. So, and it's also the substance that ruins their peace. It's twisted. But there's also the feeling of tiredness, because you've thrown your sleeping pattern out of whack. Not as bright in the mental, because yes, you've been throwing that out of whack with substances and poor sleeping. And yeah, you're trying to jump back in and be as productive as you used to be when you haven't done it. As productive as you used to be when you haven't done it in a while, and at the same time your mind's it's habituated towards substance. It wants something. It wants something to provide its own sense of relief. So this is when we're feeling down. It's just an inner feeling of, I know my mind is a lot more impulsively inclined towards substance when I'm tired, or when I'm not feeling happy with what we're doing. It's just an inner feeling of not being up to standard with what you used to be, and yeah, a big portion of this video is kind of saying what we've been dealing with, struggles, and having an urge, a need for something, which you just have to work through, and you just have to sit with, because as soon as you start clinging to that substance again, like we said, that's the addiction. So yeah, we said addiction. So yeah, understanding that getting out, what the fuck is that? Understanding that getting out of our little slumbers is a process. It just nothing fucking adds up with this computer. Stop wigging out every 2 seconds and be a normal fucking PC. Please. Please. I would really love it. Really make my day. Understanding that getting out of our little slumbers is a process, and to sit with it and accept the process and not beat yourself up day by day. Really cool. Really fucking cool. Fuck off. Gee whiz. Sorry. Yes, we're still tired today. But seeing that every day is really starting to do my head in. I need new recording software, I think, because it's absurd. Now this isn't gonna work. What is going on, cunt? That's the addiction. So yeah, we sat with it. Today we're sitting with it again, and today we woke up and we realized yesterday. You can see this. Understanding that so this just full process, full fucking broken, as always. Like I said, one time we had an hour recording for a book review, and it just did that, and that's the hour gone. And then we just gave up on book reviews because we're like, okay, well, what a waste. Do we know why it does it? No, we have no clue. Never used to do it. We've done multiple scans. We do not know what's causing it, but yeah, it just messes up all the time. We went for meditation, but we had those stressful thoughts again where we were like, we don't know what to do. It was just all over the shop. But today, we sat with it. Today we're sitting with it again, and today we woke up and we realized yesterday we went for meditation, but we had those stressful thoughts again where we were like, we don't know what to do. It was just all over the shop. But today, we sat with it again, and we were like, okay, we really just need mindful meditation, the presence. And that's what we did. We just sat with it and you gotta take yourself out of your head, not put yourself further into it. That's what mindfulness is designed for. Or just focus purely on not needing to think about anything. And it was a great relief, honestly. A great relief. Today we're still, slightly sleepy and everything, not up to our usual standard that we regard ourselves that we should be up to, but even that thought alone, it's just a depreciating thought. It's not what you would regard as a right thought, because it's putting one's down in the current scenario that they're in. So essentially that's what presence taught us. It taught us to become present, stop rejecting the presence through depictions of past or future, what you need to do for future, what you need to do, reflecting comparison based on past, all sorts of stuff, and just sit with the moment for purely this being the moment that you're in right now, and the state that you're in right now. It's existence itself before you. And give me a shirt. And it allowed us to realize, I guess, the more realistic nature of life. And how, I guess, our universal depiction in life, our universal time in life is like very minute, 80 years, whatever, for a human to live a long life. sad times. Maybe happy times, because maybe death is the best thing that happens to us. Who knows? Long life, and it's 80 years, which is nothing, like literally nothing in universal comparison. And to recognize that, yeah, I guess what we provide in this life, it doesn't, in the whole of the universe, doesn't really do much either. So, de-emphasizing I think that can get us out of our perfectionist mindset, which I didn't say in the video. I guess you're de-emphasizing what you're doing can certainly help you overcome the stagnant thought towards it needing to be perfect. Worth in life kind of helps. No, it's strange, but it's like when stuff matters less, you attach your feelings and emotions to it less as well. And then you got to learn to just play with it. So see life before you and understand you're just playing around. It's like a big yeah, words are certainly funky today. They're not matching up. Definitely very slow, but it works.
Sandbox.
It's fine. And yeah, we've had this emphasis, or we thought today, we just want to become that genuine self. That genuine self. And genuine self, it doesn't stress itself with needing to be this, that, in a certain environment. Or at certain times, you know, it just does. A genuine self just does, as it always does. As that's what it does. It's genuine, it's honest, it's true. But it doesn't need to do something, it doesn't need to be something. And that's what we want to work towards with our mindfulness meditation.
Sandbox.
Where you just do whatever you want, and you create whatever you want. But you just got to play with what you do. As that's, I guess, our primary purpose. We've said that before, just play with what you do. Which includes the work that we need to get on to. I'm going to say it's okay to ramble during meditations every now and then. I'd rather ramble like today about random stuff than to continue to procrastinate and not get anything done because we don't think.
And it was also talking about, which includes the work that we need to get on to. And it was also talking about, it wasn't talking about, it was also, and it was also, that we need to get on to. It was also, I guess, treating every day as a new life. I heard that from somewhere, forget where. But essentially, our lives, on a day by day, we wake up, we experience the day, and then we go to bed, and then it's a new day. And we can experience that day based on the stresses of the previous day, based on the stresses of our future problems or future endeavors, you know. Or we can just live that day and play around with it for the day that we're in during that day. Doesn't mean you don't have any goals, anything like that. You can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in. You still have the objectives you work towards on that day, but you got to be present in pursuing that play with the day. I know. Please don't do it. My whole screen's frozen now. But we all learn to play with the day that. Oh, for fuck's sake. Go away. What did we say about the corruptions, eh? Here they come. Damn. it was also, I guess, treating every day as a new life. I heard that from somewhere, forget where. But essentially, our lives, or on a day by day, we wake up, we experience the day, and then we go to bed, and then it's a new day. And we can experience that day based on the stresses of the previous day, based on the stresses of our future problems or future endeavors, or we can just live that day and play around with it for the day that we're in during that day. Doesn't mean you don't have any goals, anything like that. You can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Bro, I'm actually getting so fucking sick of this computer. I bought this computer probably for like fucking 3k a couple months ago. It has more problems than any other fucking computer I've ever had. It's absurd. This happens probably every fucking second day these days. Just something has to corrupt, something has to corrupt, something has to corrupt. It's a new thing, corruption. Time to corrupt again. Let's just corrupt fucking everything every day, because there's so much fun in corrupting shit. Go away, cunt. I'm pretty sure if we don't export it now, more and more of the video just gets worse over time. So we're going to attempt to export and see if that solves the problem. In the meantime, we can Google, why does camera roll on PC corrupt all the time? You reckon malware? I've scanned this computer so many times. You reckon the hardware malfunctions? Maybe we'll start using our recording software for this recording. So we can use OBS, or we're using the stream. Going forward, we'll do that instead of camera roll, because I don't know what's wrong with it, and we'll see if that fixes our issues. And we can be happy chappy once more. Yeah. Okay. Let's get rid of that. If we get this exported section, I'm hoping now that it's exported, it's like a different folder, so it's not corrupting. But I don't actually know how it works, so
Okay, we'll get
Yeah. It was also, I guess, treating every day as a new life. I heard that from somewhere, forget where. But essentially, our lives, or on a day by day, we wake up, we experience the day, and then we go to bed, and then it's a new day. And we can experience that day based on the stresses of the previous day, based on the stresses of our future problems or future endeavors, or we can just live that day and play around with it for the day that we're in during that day. Doesn't mean you don't have any goals, anything like that. You can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Stress out in a day based on. For fuck's sake! Holy cunt! I'm gonna go mentally insane. We're in and not play with the day. I'm better go mentally fucking insane. We all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Stress out in a day based on a day or a past day. Oh, now it's just fucking oh, things tangled. And yeah, it hit home a little. I'm gonna cry, bro. A little bit because is everything out of sync now? Yeah, everything's out of sync. So nothing works anymore. I'm gonna end the stream. I can't be fucked, honestly. Can't be fucked. We'll see another day. And mellow, I guess, treating every day as a new life. I heard that from somewhere, forget where. But essentially, our lives, or on a day by day, we wake up, we experience the day, and then we go to bed, and then it's a new day. And we can experience that day based on the stresses of the previous day, based on the stresses of our future problems or future endeavors, or we can just live that day and play around with it for the day that we're in during that day. Doesn't mean you don't have any goals, anything like that. You can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Stress out in a day based on. That's really cool. That's really cool. Period of time, we look around, it from somewhere, forget where. But essentially, our lives, or on a day by day, we wake up. I just want to see if it's corrupted across all experience the day, files, and then we go to bed, and then it's a new day. And we can experience that day based on the stresses of the previous day, based on the stresses of our future problems or future endeavors, or we can just live that day and play around with it for the day that we're in during that day. Doesn't mean you don't have any goals, anything like that. You can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Stress out in a day based on a day or a past day. And yeah, it hit home a little bit, because it's like, yeah, you do got to play with your days a little bit. And just with the waking, experiencing, sleeping, experiencing it as a new life. So my stomach's about to go off. Kind of relates to life as well. We wake from a slumber, we experience a period of time, we look around, we experience, and then we go back to a slumber. And it's like, oh, okay. So what do? We do anything, really. And yeah, I guess the primary objective is just to play and not stress yourself out too much, because if it's your life and it's your little piece of something in the universe that you get to experience and enjoy and pursue, whatever, then attempt not to destroy it in thought. And deep down we know when thought isn't helping and when thought is helping. And a clear picture or clear way to get to this clarity of understanding thought is to mindful meditate and obtain a state of no thought, or a state of being able to analyze thought and understand where it doesn't do you any benefit and where it does provide a calm ease to. Mellow your days a little bit, and just with the waking life is what we essentially just that you get ease.
Makes a lot of sense.
Day.
So the first one's in sync and the second one's completely out of sync.
And you create whatever you want, but goals, anything like that, you can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Stress out in a day based on a day or a past day. And yeah, it based on the stresses of the previous when and yeah, we're keen. We know exposure is a good one as well. We talked about.
I think I might just I do want to rewrite Life is Life today. I feel like I gotta stop recording so that I can re-record certain things. Yikes. The funny thing with this stuff now is, now that this is corrupted, it's probably going to corrupt everything in this folder. I really don't understand it. I don't understand technology either. I think technology is just painful. Technology overtakes the world. It's going to be some form of corruption that sends everyone mentally insane. And then AI wins. Yay. hoping this works. I'm essentially just gonna try and chuck in this one. Day, and then we go to bed, and then it's a new day, and we can experience that day based on the stresses of the previous day, based on the stresses of our future problems or future endeavors, or we can just live that day and play around with it for the day that we're in during that day. Okay, so we'll grab that, put that there, and we'll grab I'm sorry for getting angry earlier as well. I was just frustrated because this is a common occurrence, especially when we've just come back trying to get on track and it's just doing the same thing it used to always do. It's a bit like, oh, okay, this is cool, really motivating. Don't have any goals, you do, which includes the work that we need to do in this life. It doesn't, in the whole of the universe, doesn't really do much either. So de-emphasizing your life before you and understand you're just playing around. It's like a big sandbox where you just do whatever you want and you create whatever you want. Hopefully, but you just gotta play with what you do. Hopefully this one aligns. That's, I guess, our parameter. You can just cut it, we've put it in, export, with what you and we're done. Which includes the work that we need to get on to. Stress out in a day based on the stresses of our future problems or future endeavors, or we can just live that day and play around with it for the day that we're in during that day. Doesn't mean you don't have any goals, anything like that. You can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Stress out in a day based on day or a past day, and yeah, it bro, like what's it doing? At this point I just don't understand, because if I can play that video normally here and then it doesn't fucking play there and it just gets worse and worse, it's like, what is going on? Oh, now it's fully gonna break. Yeah, it's fully breaking. Hello. Oh god. It's like a big from somewhere, anything like that. You can still have that, but we all learn to play with the day that we're in and not play with the day. Stress out in a day based on day or a past day. So this is what we need. Oh yeah, I'm gonna end the stream. I really wanted to write today, honestly, but as you see, stuff happens, shit happens, and yeah, I guess we just gotta go with that and flow with life. Yay. We won't be on tomorrow because we have to have a big uni day tomorrow, but we'll be back Thursday and we'll fix this issue, we'll fix the recording issues, and we'll finally finish life, seeing life, which I think is a topic that's quite necessary right now, given yeah, sometimes it can slip away. Always there, but you can allow it to slip away, the perspective. Anyway, take care.